Hi, guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your host, Zachary Reality, and you guys know why we are here. So happy Tuesday. We're going to be chatting about tonight's episode, last night's, of The Bachelorette, as well as Claim to Fame. A little bit of a mix and match this week, as Claim to Fame was on after The Bachelorette, which means we will be recapping The Bachelorette first. And we are recording here very late at night, 11:05 p.m. in Los Angeles. We are recording before I go to sleep, and there's going to be minimal editing in today's YouTube video because I am going to Vegas tomorrow. Yes, I'm flying to Vegas. I'm going on a brand trip with Dos Hombres. It's a mezcal, and we're staying at the Venetian, and there's going to be a great dinner and like a pool party tomorrow or a pool party on Wednesday. And then I'm going to come home Thursday. So it's a quick 36-hour trip to Vegas because I'm flying back the morning Thursday. Like my flight's at like 5 a.m. because I have a shoot on Thursday at like 8 a.m. in El Segundo. So it's going to be a really busy next 3 days, which is why we are recording this late at night and we are going to get right into it. So you guys know the drill. Give this video a thumbs up and please, please, please subscribe to my channel. It's free. It takes 2 seconds. Ring that bell so you're notified whenever I post a new video because I'm always posting new videos and they're always so much fun to watch, right? Okay, so let's talk about The Bachelorette. And I took notes while I drank wine tonight. So they're headed to New Orleans, which is in Louisiana. There's 6 guys left. There's Joey, Aaron B, Dotun, Xavier, Sean, and Tanner. I feel like going into this episode, we all pretty much knew that the final 4 was going to be Joey, Aaron B, Dutton, and Xavier, and that Sean and Tanner were going to go home. And yeah, like that's exactly what happened. But of course they had to kind of drag out the drama, right? Like, did Sean really think he was going to hometowns? He was never going. So Joey gets the first one-on-one date, as he should. He hasn't gotten one yet, and he got like one of the first group date roses. And I say every week how cute he is because he is adorable. He has such fluffy hair. They go on a walk around New Orleans. They go to like a tarot card reader. They go to like this poem thing, and they have the dinner portion of the date where they talk about hometowns and interracial relationships. And Joey handles it great, and he gets a rose. He just was just like so perfect. I feel like they're really not showing like any bad sides of him, which really leads me to think he's gonna get number 2 because number 2 is always like the golden boy, the perfect boy, like Brandon and Avon and who else was like a final 2, but like they build it up so that you get so obsessed with the second place person. So when they're heartbroken, you're just like, I'm devastated. I'm so sad. There's no way Charity is not ending up with Dotun. There's literally no beyond way. She loves him and she's obsessed with him. And their one-on-one date was so much more romantic and butterflies. With Joey, it was just like a really good date. I mean, clearly Charity is smitten with Joey and he keeps saying how much he loves her. But I kind of feel like when they're kissing, he doesn't seem like super into it. Or maybe it's just like the cameras that's making him shy. I mean, I can't imagine kissing on camera. It's so awkward. But I just don't really feel like he's as into her as she's into him. And I also feel like she knows she's gonna pick Dotun. So she's just like she's smitten with Joey. She's infatuated with Joey, but there's just no way he's winning. So then it is time for a 2-on-1. I didn't realize that they were going to do 4 dates this week. 4 dates, no cocktail party, no rose ceremony. They're just doing 4 dates. And Sean and Tanner get a 2-on-1. They see alligators on the boats because it's like Louisiana. So it's like New Orleans. Like there's so many typical things about New Orleans. The typical things about New Orleans are the alligators, Mardi Gras, which is kind of what Dotun and Charity's date was a little bit, and then the beignets. So unless I blinked or was on my phone, they did not eat beignets. Like what? Why? So Sean and Tanner get a 2-on-1, the alligators, and they're really building up this like Sean character. They're making him so like goofy and like I don't even know. We know he was gonna go home, and like it was just so stretched out. Like they could have went home then and there. Sean and Tanner could have both went home. There was no reason to keep them for another date because it was just like so obvious. But they gave Sean like some type of goofy edit. And Tanner's like really cute and nice. He's just like a little shy. He is just like more reserved because like clearly he's just not getting enough time. He probably isn't like super familiar with like the cameras and stuff. That's not his comfort zone. He's just like he wants his own time and like he has to split a date. Like why couldn't Tanner just get a one-on-one date? Put Sean on the group date. Sean was never in it like that. Like she did not, like Tanner deserved a full date. So she doesn't give anyone a rose. She just decides that she needs more time. She needs more time before coming to the conclusion. Fair enough. She could have sent them both home there, but no. So then Dotun gets asked for another one-on-one date. He got a one-on-one date last week when they jumped off the bridge, remember? And they did it twice. And I was like, hell no, I am never jumping off a bridge in my life. But he got another one-on-one date 2 weeks in a row. I feel like because he's obviously the winner, she wants to spend more time with him. And before hometowns, why not get an extra date with him? And why not build up the love story? Because clearly he's winning. So they run around for like a half marathon. I need to drink more water. Dressed in New Orleans. He said he's falling in love with her at dinner. My face and my body just lit up, and this is what I needed to hear. I feel like I got electrocuted. He gets a rose, and he's so tall. Those were my notes. Because he is so tall. He's literally the tallest person ever. Could you guys imagine dating a guy that tall? Like, she is jumping to kiss him, and he's like, I couldn't do it. I need a guy that's like the same height as me. He is way too tall, but she's obsessed with him and like she feels electrocuted and he is literally so sweet and seems perfect for her. Like, hopefully they last after the show. It's too soon to tell, but hopefully they last. Hopefully they really do last because I do think they're going to get engaged and I really hope that they last. We'll see where they're at. Group date number 2, Shayne, Aaron B, Tanner, and Xiaver. Why are Shayne and Tanner coming again? Like, you still need more time. Come on. If they just got individual one-on-ones, then there would have been all the time. So Aaron B gets time first and Aaron B gets the group date rose. So he's clearly number 3 because it feels like Xiaver kind of fell down on the rankings this week, especially at the end when he said that he didn't know if he could commit. He has like commitment issues. Yeah, that's going to be a conversation you're going to have next week with Charity on Hometowns, but Aaron B is a shoe-in. So then she needs a night portion where it is Xiaver versus Tanner, because what happens is Shayne goes to her room because he's upset that he is on another group date and he asks for clarity. And what did he say? He wanted the rose and he said he's totally in the process of falling in love with her. And then she broke up with him, obviously. I don't even know if the producers just fed Shayne or maybe Shayne truly was in it to win it, but there was just like no connection there. And it was just like, he was really saying all the things that anyone would want to hear. And then Charity was just like really struggling to break up with him because, you know, he took the time, came to her room, but it was probably better off that they, you know, took care of business there versus on the group date. Because, sorry, this was like a little out of order for a second. Clearly it's like late. But the night portion is Xiaver versus Tanner, and she gives the rose to Xiaver because she decides to go to Tanner's room first to break up with Tanner. And I feel like we all saw it coming. And I really think that Tanner is going to go to Bachelor in Paradise. And I think we'll see Shayne there too. So both the guys that went home, we can expect to see in Paradise. And speaking of Paradise, our girl Charity, the Bachelorette, she was in Miami over the weekend with a bunch of girls from Zach's season. So I'll put up the picture right here. All of these girls are going to Paradise. So if you need a little refresher, this is the clique. These girls are all beautiful. We have Kat on the end, Kylie, Mercedes, Jess, and Queen Charity. And all these girls are stunning. So I'm very excited to see this new girl group in Paradise. They're literally Barbie dolls. So now we're down to the final 4. Dotun, Xiaver, Aaron B, and Joey. And I think that Dotun's going to win. Joey's going to get second. Aaron B is going to get third. And then Xavier is going to get fourth. So next week will be Hometowns, which will be fun. It'll be fun to kind of talk about it. Love seeing where everyone's from. Then there'll be probably the Men Tell All, right? And then the Fantasy Suites. And then the finale. So 4 more episodes left. Okay. We got this. We are going to do it. We're going to watch it together. So let me know what your thoughts were on the Bachelorette in the comments down below. I want to hear what you guys think. Boring episode, I think, is just expected, but definitely let me know. And before we talk about Claim to Fame, reminder, my newest podcast that comes out this week is going to be with Shanique and Randall. They are from The Ultimatum Season 1 on Netflix. They got engaged. I was going to say spoiler alert, but the show is like over a year old. So you probably should have watched it by now, but they got engaged on the show. They broke it off and then they just got re-engaged last week and it like blew up on Instagram and like everyone was just like, oh my God, we're so happy for them. What happened? Like you got re-engaged, you broke up, like what's the tea? So I invited them on my podcast. Me and Randall have followed each other for a while. So I slid into his TikTok DMs. Him and Shanique came on. They are such a lovely couple. They're so beautiful. just like a really sweet, kind couple that just like took their time with things in their relationship and like did everything for themselves. And Randall really takes us through his entire proposal, the planning, all the behind the scenes of like it's a really good interview. So that's going to drop tomorrow on my channel on Wednesday. So stay tuned. I'll be in Vegas when it drops, but I'm definitely looking forward to hearing what you guys think about it. Now let's get on to Claim to Fame. And shout out about Claim to Fame is that there is a $100,000 prize at the end. I just like sometimes don't pay attention because the shows are so long. So I forgot that, or I just didn't realize. But just to remind everyone, the winner of this show will win $100,000. And I still don't know how the show's going to end. I was like asking Jada and Carly when I interviewed them a little bit about it. Apparently, they all come back at the end, all the eliminated cast. So I don't know if everyone that's eliminated is going to like vote for who the winner is or how the ending is going to work of this show. I'm sure I can Google it, but I like the element of surprise. And I also like the element of surprise in that I'm not like Googling whose celebrity relatives everyone is. Like all these people have an A-list celebrity relative. You can easily Google it online and find out pretty much everyone's. Like I've seen rumblings about Chris's celebrity relative. You know, this week, a lot of people thought it was Jim Carrey, but there's also been rumors that it's like an Osmond or something. I'm trying not to look into it. I did see that Cole was related to Alicia Keys last week when I was looking things up about Shayne, who was Eddie Murphy's daughter that was eliminated the week before, because I was trying to get all the background and stuff. So I did know Cole was Alicia Keys. And apparently, so did Carson and a lot of other people because he was eliminated this week on Claim to Fame, which means we are now down to 7 people. And I really love this show. And I don't know how I felt about them switching the shows, but it definitely was fun to, it was fun. I'm here for the show switching. The long one first, because The Bachelorette should literally be an hour. And then I really like Claim to Fame. So they started this week off with 2 teams, and there was team captains. So you had to remember a riddle from a game of telephone. Monet was not doing a good job. So Gabriel's team and then JR were the 2 team captains. And Kevin Jonas would basically like tell someone a riddle over the phone, and then they would pass it on. It's like a game of telephone all the way till the end. And then those 2 people at the end who were Cole and Chris, they had to put together these like 5 objects. So it's just like a game of telephone where you have to remember things. And Monet was just not good at it. The game took so long. It took hours for them to complete that Kevin Jonas literally had to leave LA to go to Vegas for a Jonas Brothers show. And Frankie had to carry on hosting the challenge by himself. Like, justice for Frankie. Seriously. I don't understand why they were so slow. Like, they literally are fed. They're living in a mansion. Like, I see people on Survivor who are way better at challenges like this, remembering a simple riddle that's like 3 freaking lines. Like, calm down. No one was good at this challenge. Everyone embarrassed themselves because this challenge looked like it went on for like 6 hours. I don't know. Gabriel's team won. I'm like really into Chris, guys. I just like he's my favorite on the show, and like his storyline is so interesting. He's building like such an arc, and like he's kind of cute too. Like Chris, I just really am rooting for him every week. So JR's team lost, so now he's in the bottom 2, and he has to choose who he wants to go along with him. So he chooses Carson to go along with him. And Carson was almost eliminated last week. So the fact that she's now in the bottom 2, like Carson is fighting for her life. I must say that I felt like Carson came off way more cooler and calmer and collected this week. Last week, she was like paranoid. She was desperate. She was doing anything she could to stay in. And this week, it just felt like she made some allies. All of the girls seem to be really bonded together. Olivia, Monet, all the girls seem to have an alliance now. And like Hugo almost seems to be in on that too, because he voted with the girls. So they all voted for Carson to be the guesser. And during some of my other notes said that Monet knows Cole is related to Alicia Keys. So Monet told Carson that, and Carson kind of figured it out herself, and she said that. And I think that's why Carson ultimately chose to vote Cole, because pretty much everyone knew that Cole was related to Alicia Keys, where with Chris, it seems a little bit like up in the air. Like not everyone knows yet, but they're starting to figure it out. Chris is going home next week. 100%. I'm putting my money on it. And last week I said that too. I'm actually like pretty good at guessing, and I probably predicted Cole was going home. Apparently Chris told Carson that she would get his clue, but then Carson called Chris stingy. So Carson was getting annoyed at Chris this week because Chris has so much information, and Gabriel was also saying that Chris is so smart and that Chris is so strategic. So everyone's starting to be on to Chris, which is why he's definitely going home next week. Some of the other clues were like basketball, Vegas, magician, music, and bunny. I don't know who else is anyone else's celebrity. I'm curious to see how it all unfolds, but like I have no guesses. I have no idea who's related to who. I'm just watching the show and figuring it out. Like I said, you can easily Google who's related to who. So the guesser is Carson, and she chose Cole. She guessed Cole is Alicia Keys. They are half siblings. So they share the same father. And Alicia Keys gave a really nice message to Cole. I'm not sad that he went home either. I did feel like after he betrayed Shayne, like his karma was coming, even though I didn't support his decision because he had to do what he had to do. But the tea, because there was some people saying, some of the girls were saying that they thought Cole dated Emma Watson. They thought Cole dated Emma Watson because I guess he said he dated a girl in England, and there was like some press about Alicia Keys' brother dating Emma Watson. So I looked it up and I found that from USA Today, and I'll put a screenshot. Cole was asked in an interview, were you surprised Shayne and Monet figured out your British ex-girlfriend was Emma Watson? And then Cole says, surprisingly and funny enough, it actually wasn't Emma Watson. We definitely went out and had a date, but we never really went down that path. It was singer Vanessa White. So there is the tea, guys. And that's the sitch. That is the sitch. So Cole is now out of the competition, and there are 7 people left on Claim to Fame, and there are 4 people left on The Bachelorette. So let me know in the comments what you guys think is going to happen next. It's kind of fun to follow the 2 shows together and like dwindle it down each week. So before you head out of here, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and follow me on all my socials at Zachary Reality. I'll be posting some Vegas content on my Instagram story from my brand trip, and stay tuned for my interview with Shanique and Randall, which will be up tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching, listening, and do not forget to subscribe before you leave. Subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Bye.